fight is brought to you by CFS. All original, all the time.
Now, the Resistance, we know Eddie Abasolo's old gym. I've heard Eddie has returned back to CMA. And
Fight fans, this next fight
CSA.
is an
My
IKF
apologies.
Amateur full rules Muay Thai, 3 rounds in the light welterweight division. Please welcome out of the blue corner. He comes to us with blue shorts trimmed in black. Standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, he weighed in at 136.6 pounds, representing Mateo Muay Thai. He comes to us today making his debut fight, fighting out of Reinhardt, California. Please welcome Andy Mayer. And his opponent across the ring. He comes to us today wearing black shorts trimmed in red. Stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed in at 139.8 pounds, representing the Resistance. He also is making his debut fight tonight, fighting out of Pleasanton, California. Please welcome Ronan Pitto. The third man in the ring, Mike Crew Rinaldi.
now he's got the custom shorts. You know, he's got the Resistance, he's got the Rose. You know, he's looking to seal the ring. I like that they have the date of establishment on the shorts, 2020. So the Resistance, still a fairly new gym.
Right.
A new and exciting gym. So many things coming up and out of that gym. And then we get to see this young man. Again, both of these guys, debut fighters. It doesn't show any MDL or PMT experience. So it's very interesting. You know, when these guys arrive in the ring, how much experience do they really have?
Sure.
Just because it says they're 0-0, that's not usually the case in Muay Thai.
Right.
Some of these guys have 20 MDLs. They're just making their debut in here, you know?
Yeah.
These other guys, this could be this guy's real, actual debut with no MDLs, you know, no PMTs, which would be crazy because imagine having 20 PMTs or MDLs. And even though they say, oh, there's no decision, it doesn't go on your record, that is a lot of experience. That definitely gives you experience.
Right.
And that's something, you know, when you're making matches, that's got to be disclosed. You know, if you're the manager, that's not responsible managing of your fighter if you're not considering that experience, because it is.
Yeah, that's a good point. If
It
you're
is.
gonna,
I won the open division with Julian Huff at last year's USMTO against the Polynesian champion. This kid had 9 legitimate amateur fights. Julian had none.
Right.
He had 6 PMTs. But the PMTs, I knew Julian was ready. And I was okay. We took the fight, and then Julian cut him with an elbow to win it in the 3rd round and shocked the Polynesians. They were very upset. They thought they were going to steamroll us, but they didn't know Julian Huff was there.
Rock from California.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we're going to implement these new circuits, in which it's great for development, don't get me wrong, we love that, we have that. But, you know, these things need to be notated.
Yeah. I want to know also,
record of.
when you do a PMT and you put your experience, does the PMT algorithm consider MDL? Because they're separate entities. They like ignore each other. They're competitors.
Sure.
But they need to account that. That's experience. It's like when you go do a national tournament, you got to put all that stuff. And then Julian fought in the open division with no fights because he had 6 PMTs. They count those as fights. And it proved everything because he ended up winning. Those are worth experience.
Right,
and so are the MDLs. But MDLs, there's a little loophole because there's no decision.
Yeah.
But you know who won.
Exactly.
And they still got rounds. And sometimes those guys are doing multiple rounds in one day. Now, this guy's doing a full Ram Muay. You see Rama's bow. King Rama and his inextinguishable quiver of arrows demonstrated at the end of the legendary Ramboy. Beautifully done there. First one of the night.
Well
nice
done.
one. Nice one, lad. And Rama's bow. You guys better research that Buddhism. What's he doing? The unextinguishable quiver of arrows.
Once again, this fight is brought to you by CFS. That's what we're streaming on right now. This is how you're watching it. It's all original, and it's all the time.
Competitive Fighting Sports. And you know what? Producer, director, editor, Glenn, behind the scenes, bringing us on. Thank you guys so much for giving us the opportunity and the Muay TV commentary team a chance to do what we do. And we're looking to bring NorCal Muay Thai up a notch. Here we go.
Exchange of gloves.
Boom! Teep to the face. Drops him.
Right from the get-go. Overhand right blocked by Ronan.
Ronan looks unconcerned and unbothered.
Off the ropes, turning the shoulder, pivot. Right hand from Ronan.
Big open body kick, leaves a mark.
The physique on both of these men are pretty different.
Oh, elbow to the eye. Right in the eye. Now, you were saying the physique.
Yes.
These guys don't look the same weight.
No, not at all.
You know, this young man right here, Ronan, he looks a good 8 pounds heavier.
Right.
Oh.
Right uppercut from Ronan. Elbow.
Good job, right, Rinaldi. He notices the situation, gives him the standing 8 count, and yeah, this is a bit of a mismatch. Ronan doing his job, marching him down, and Andy getting the count. He looks okay.
Ooh, right hand over the ear.
It's just a matter of not being able to protect yourself. There it is again. When he turns his back like that, and then that's a good stoppage. It's a mismatch. And yeah, the referee needs to do his job. If you're not able to protect yourself, they need to stop the fight.
Yeah, good call by Michael Rinaldi.
Well, the Ramboy was longer than the fight. And Roman Pitto, looking like a strong young fighter, making his debut. That was his debut?
Yeah.
The Ramboy was that good?
Believe it or not.
And he has no fights. I don't believe it. I'm going to talk to the coach.
I'd be skeptical as well.
Herney, where'd you dig this guy out of?
3 months training. Well, yeah, Ezra. I mean, let's look at me. I've got about 14, 15 years experience. 2 fights, PMTs. Can I sign up and put 0 and 0?
At least that's 2.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, you never know. A guy like that, he might have been a gym rat for years and then just decided, hey, I should fight.
Right.
You know, he could have been training for 10 years. What's my IKF record? 0-0. I should make my debut.
Yeah.
Put me in the Masters division.
Check weight, get you in.
I'm going to do the USMTO in the C class.
Masters division.
And then celebrate hard after the win.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Stand on the ropes.
Champagne.
Let's go. Showtime, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Michael Rinaldi, has called a stop to this fight at 1 minute and 42 seconds of round 1 by way of TKO for your winner Fighting out of the red corner, Ronan, Pitto.
Solid young fighter there, and Ronan and Herney doing a great job with him.